Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Unprecedented numbers. According to San Antonio leaders, more than 185,000 migrants have come through the Alamo City since January of 2021.
Many of them in just the past few months, even though Title 42 remains in effect. Garrett Berger tells us about their journey and a new step the city's taking to help.
Bust up from the border, migrants legally traveling in the United States are coming through the Alamo City in droves.
The past 3 months, we've seen about 50,000 migrants coming to San Antonio from the border.
The city says it's on track to see a record 19,000 migrants come through San Antonio in June alone. Most have a plane ticket and go straight to the airport, the city says. But others end up here at Travis Park, where nonprofits help them out with food and shelter.
I am actually from Honduras, but most of these people is from Venezuela and Cuba.
One man left home because of threats against him and his family. He asked not to be shown on camera. He says his money was stolen in Mexico and he only has about $10 left. So instead of continuing on to North Carolina, where his wife and daughter are waiting, he's now waiting too.
So I'm trying to contact someone here on the states that I know that can help me to buy the tickets, or someone that can give me some money and then I can pay after that.
While the city doesn't pay for travel tickets, the nonprofits may. But the city plans to get about $10.8 million in reimbursements from the federal government for services from this April through December. Services like hotels, food, and a processing center.
The city wants to create a processing center because out here at Travis Park, the sun is beating down and people are huddled underneath the trees for whatever shade they can get.
And so they would come to this center and we would help them with their travel arrangements, either through bus or flight, and then get them shelter until they leave.
With San Antonio just another stop along their way. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
He's accused of killing a 3-year-old. It's day 2 in the capital murder trial of Eric Trevino. He's on trial for the 2017 shooting of little Rene Blancas Jr. Testimony from a relative today revealing that he thought he might have been the initial target of that shooting. Eric Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom.
What is your relationship to Rene Blancas?
He's my cousin.
Jack Daniel Hernandez was heading to his family's barbecue when he noticed his cousin's vehicle at the intersection of Briggs and New Laredo Avenue.
I happened to see my cousin, so I stopped him and told him, "What are you doing? Why aren't you at the barbecue?"
How long do you think you were sitting there talking with Rene?
About, I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes.
He then noticed a car behind him, and as he took off, he says the car had turned off their headlights. Hernandez proceeded to his grandma's house a few minutes down the street, and that is when he found out someone had been shot.
Well, I pulled in, and then that's when I heard my aunt yelling and crying and screaming, saying that Rene was shot.
At the time, Hernandez believed he may have been the target of this shooting. He and his wife were going through a divorce and had been arguing that night. He told the jury she had sent some threatening texts. During cross-examination, Jack Daniel Hernandez explained he himself had previously been a target of a shooting.
One of her boyfriend shot at your house, didn't he?
I don't know if it was a boyfriend, but yeah, they shot at my house.
Okay, they also shot at your car, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
Despite all that, the night 3-year-old Rene Blancas Jr. was shot. He said he wasn't able to get a look at the vehicle that had pulled up behind him and couldn't identify Eric Trevino as the suspect.
The vehicle that pulled up behind you, did you see what type of car it was?
No, sir, because the lights were on.
The trial will be on recess for tomorrow and will actually continue on Monday morning. And we'll be following it here in the 437th District Court. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Now we know who was killed in a shooting near Converse. The victim in this case is 31-year-old Roger Allen. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. So investigators say that someone shot Allen on Monday at a home on Moon Rock near Wagner High School. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say that a 19-year-old had told dispatchers that he was the one who shot Allen after the two got into an argument. Now we've checked, but so far there's been no one charged in this case.
A Northwest Side man facing a murder charge following what police say was a beating that turned deadly. He's accused of punching another man, leading to that man's death. As Katrina Weber reports, investigators believe the fight centered around disciplining the suspect's child.
In his mugshot, 31-year-old Jeremy Bahi looks anything but happy, and it's with good reason. He is facing a murder charge in a case that San Antonio police believe grew out of rage. a beating late last month at an apartment in the 1300 block of Perennial Drive. Police spelled it all out in an arrest affidavit, saying Bahi attacked 36-year-old Michael Adan for disciplining Bahi's underage son. The affidavit says Adan had stepped in to stop that child from assaulting his own mother. Then it says Bahi showed up at Adan's apartment later and attacked him, hitting him repeatedly until he was unconscious. After Adan came to, Bahi allegedly attacked him again outside. The affidavit says that Mahi continued beating Adan after he was unconscious on the stairs. And investigators believe that's when he suffered the head injury that eventually led to his death. Adan had spent several days in the hospital where his condition worsened until he died. Police got the murder warrant and arrested Bahi yesterday, the same day as Adan's funeral. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
A family member of a Uvalde victim testified before the Texas House Joint Committee today, begging lawmakers to take action. Jasmine Casales lost her sister Jackie, her cousin Annabelle, at the Uvalde school massacre. She asked legislators to pass gun safety laws like red flag laws, more background checks. While wearing a shirt with Jackie's face, she pointed out the flaws and the failures in Uvalde CISD's safety plan, like the number of campus police and the amount of training required. After testifying, she continued to question the physical security barriers available on her high school campus.
At my school, there's no fencing. It's open. It's all open. Anybody can walk on. And like same thing, like some of the doors they don't lock. Or if there's a substitute in the class, the doors won't lock. Things could have been so much different if it was at my school. Like in the room that I was in specifically, I had a substitute. The door didn't lock. So as easily as it was Jackie, it could have been me too.
Also this morning, 58 House Democrats asked for a special session to enact bills that would close loopholes in protective orders and background check laws. They require stolen guns to be reported and raise the age to 21 for people purchasing assault rifles.
New at 6 now, a German Shepherd has a purpose, and it's to help a grieving family. After his family surrendered him and no one adopted him, a professional canine handler thought that it would be a nice companion for a family in Uvalde. Alicia Barrera tells us more.
Off. Good. Here. He just wants attention.
Don't be fooled by his name.
Good. Yes, a good man. Good. This dog's name is Stinky. He stunk when he came to us, and so my roommate and I decided, yep, Stinky, that's it. Sit.
According to Eric Andrade, a professional canine handler, Stinky is just a canine with a lot of energy and a mission.
No. Sit. Good. They went ahead and gave us the dog, telling us that the dog was too aggressive for them and they couldn't keep him in a cage because he was breaking out of every cage.
But since then, Stinky has shown no signs of aggression. What he actually needs is a lot of praise, making him the perfect candidate for service work.
He'll be training in Bandera with the company A Doggy for You.
A dog as needy as him is going to be perfect for a family that needs that attention. There's a lot of science that goes into it. But that is because of his drive for praise rather than food or toys.
It'll be in the coming weeks that Stinky starts training as a service animal with a goal to be assigned with a family in Uvalde affected by the mass shooting.
That needs a real life teddy bear, so to speak. Kennel. Good.
Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Stinky is adorable, I must say.
He absolutely is. All right, let's check out TransGuide right now because I want to update a traffic situation we showed you at 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, people were actually driving through that flooded area. It looks like the access road at 410 and Marbach. We said it looked like a water main break, and that's exactly what it was, a 16-inch water main break, according to SAWS. 410 and Marbach area we're talking about, water on the road. They hope to have it cleaned up fairly quickly. Well, new at 6, how many cops does San Antonio need? SAPD commissioning a study to find out how many officers are required. City Council approved a contract today for an outside consultant to analyze the police department's uniformed staffing levels and make a recommendation. Not only on how many officers, but that recommendation could theoretically include cutting officers. The police chief suspects it will be a recommendation to add them, though.
So if you want to reduce response times, You can't tell the officers, go faster between calls. There's got to be more police officers involved to reduce response times. So that's one thing. If you want a reactive police department, you keep the numbers at a minimum. If you want a proactive police department, you expand the number of police officers that you have.
The Chief McManus says the study will not only include the number of patrol officers based on call load, but also the number of investigators based on caseload and the time spent on cases.
All right, going to take a live look outside right now, or a view from our South Side City Cam. 100 degrees right now. Whew. Bet if we show you a different angle of the city, you're not going to see a lot of people enjoying themselves while they're outside, right, Adam?
No, I mean, I keep thinking back to that water main break, on the road. Why can't it be over somebody's lawn at least, right? Help out a little bit. Just the road, pouring water on pavement. 101 degrees, that was our high temperature today. That's 1 degree shy of the record set back in 1990. And that marks 14 100-degree days so far this month of June, which puts it in the top spot. Well, still in the top spot for number of 100-degree days in June. Previously, the highest was 12 back in 2009, 12 100-degree days for a June. Records go back to 1885. 103 in Pleasanton, Cotulla 104, Uvalde, Hondo, an even 100 for high temperatures today. Right now we're 99 officially at the airport, 89 at 10, midnight 85. Actually, high temperatures could be closer to our midnight temperature. We'll tell you when and talk about that pattern shift coming up.
KSAT 12 celebrates Military City, USA, powered by USAA.
Young men and women who enlist in the United States Air Force arrive in San Antonio, Texas, or Military City, USA. New recruits begin their basic military training at Lackland Air Force Base to gain important and crucial skills to become an airman. Here's a look at basic Expeditionary Airman skills and training, also known as BEAST.
Place your weapon above your head!
So this exercise, this is a culmination of every single thing that the trainees have learned out in basic training. So when they come here from their line squadrons, they've already learned their base defense skills, which we call FEST, TCCC, which is how they treat a combat casualty.
Alarm yellow.
New recruits will train on different levels that test their overall readiness before deployment overseas.
And then at the beginning of the week, we teach them their chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear training skills. So this exercise is them taking all those different skills that they learned from the week, and they put it into one integrated exercise to show that they can actually do the mission in an expeditionary environment. This right here, baseline, many of these trainees from the day one when they hit the ground will be ready for deployment. Some of them will, some of them will not. So this right here at a minimum will give them those skills that they need to fulfill their job.
Hearing about all of these kids that I knew and grew up with being dead now, it just breaks my heart.
May 24th, as seen through the eyes of a Robb Elementary School fourth grader, what she remembers about the shooting in Uvalde and how she is moving forward and remembering her friends. Tonight on the Night Beat.
All right, now let's talk about what's happening right now. I know you're looking at your screen right there. The temperature, it says 100 degrees. Doesn't really sound like weather that you really want to spend, outside, but there's a free concert series going on right now at Legacy Park from 7 to 9.
Make the best of it.
Yeah, just go out and enjoy it if you can.
Yeah, by the way, Legacy Park right over by Frost Tower.
And it's on West Houston Street. Yep. Near Pinkerton's Barbecue.
And as that sun gets lower, especially when you're downtown, you get that shade very early, and it makes a big difference once that sun goes down.
Yep.
You can do it. Just go into it very hydrated, okay, please. 102 tomorrow. That would tie the record for the day. Saturday and Sunday, 101. Look at that, Monday, 94. And then even lower temperatures by Tuesday. All right, let's get to it. I want to talk about the heat first. If June ended today, it would be the hottest June on record with an average temperature of about 88.0 degrees. However, we are going to dip below average into early next week for the last few days of June. And so that may actually put us down in the second place spot to 1990. Time will tell. We'll keep you updated. Temps right now across the state. near 100 and well into the 90s. I mean, Alpine's 92, 95 in Lubbock, 100 even Abilene, Austin, Del Rio, 101 along with Laredo. Along the Gulf coastline, 90 in Corpus Christi, 97 Victoria, 100 in Kennedy. We're feeling the heat out there today. Dew points dropped a bit more again this afternoon, down into the 50s. If that drier air aloft mixes down in the afternoon, and that helped boost us just above 100 today officially at the airport. New Braunfels still 101. Bulverde's 98, Devine 104, Hondo 100, Uvalde right now at 99. Tomorrow morning, temperatures mostly in the 70s. I mean, just mid 70s for most of us, some lower 70s in outlying areas, but we think around 75, 76 in San Antonio. By tomorrow afternoon, it's more of the same, and I think we'll tack on another degree, about 102 officially at the airport. Again, that would tie the record high temperature for tomorrow. 103 on the south side, Stinson, 103 Castroville, Poteet, Pleasanton as well. You get the idea. We are feeling the heat. Still just above 100 through the weekend, and then there's that temperature drop we were talking about. Look at Tuesday, about 86 degrees for the high temperature. That's what we're expecting, with the potential of it even being lower than that. And it's no coincidence that that drop in our temperature comes with an increase in our rain chances. So let's talk about it. You look at satellite and radar today, not much out there. Some puffy, patchy fair weather clouds over the hill country. That's about it. Big Blue H, the upper level heat high, planted right over North Texas and of course influencing our weather. It's winning out and it's hard for us to even make clouds out there today. But along the edges of it, you get into the Rocky Mountains. That's where they've got some good moisture and lift, and that's where they get the precipitation. But they're drought stricken as well, so at least somebody who needs the rain is getting some. I do think with the weather pattern shift early next week, by Monday afternoon and Monday evening, we'll see some isolated to widely separated showers and non-severe storms. On Tuesday, an even better chance. Right now we have it at 40%. I do see the potential of bringing that up even a little bit higher. Okay, we just need a little more time, and with the drought conditions we're in, usually it can be a little more problematic and difficult to generate good showers. But I do think we'll have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere moving in, and that's going to help us out along with some lift. And then you see those rain chances diminish again by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Really quickly, I want to get to this. Just before dawn tomorrow morning, we have the 5-planet parade. You look off to the east-southeast early in the morning, about an hour before sunrise would be best. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn will all be lined up. Mercury lowest to the horizon. Get somewhere where you can really have a good view of the horizon off in the distance, and it's not an obstructed view. Also, little sliver moon right there between Venus and Mars. So that's early tomorrow morning. The sky should be clear for it. That's nice. We'll be in the mid-70s. You'll notice the humidity, then 102 by the afternoon. Looking ahead, there are those better rain chances early next week with a drop in temperatures. So back below 100, even in the 80s on Tuesday.
Okay, Adam, thank you.
All right, so the planets are aligning. Will the stars align for the Spurs tonight? Just to be cautious, I have the silver and black going in my outfit tonight. I notice you do too.
That's
Andrew.
correct.
So, you know, we're sporting the colors if nothing else.
I'm just angry you took my segue because I was going to take the planets aligning too. But you know what? You can have it. That's fine. Larry Ramirez is in Brooklyn. He's going to have more on the Spurs' big draft night tonight coming up. It's their biggest draft class since 1988. We'll see what happens to it. Plus, it's a huge match for San Antonio FC for the top of the Western Conference standings. Got that too. Next. On this day in 2005, the Spurs won their third NBA title after defeating the Pistons in an epic 7-game series. And now, 17 years to the day, the Silver and Black have a big chance to continue their current rebuild into a championship contender once again with the largest total number of draft picks since 1988. 3 in the first round and 1 in the second. So we take you now live to Brooklyn where we find our Larry Ramirez. Hey, Larry, what's up?
Hey, Andrew, you know what? I'll tell you what's up. We are coming to you live from the red carpet. How about that? I'm definitely not red carpet worthy. Now, the excitement is building here at the Barclays Center as we approach the 2022 NBA draft, and we all know this is a big, Big night for the San Antonio Spurs. What will they do? We will soon find out. So they have 4 draft picks and plenty of options to improve the team. Spurs general manager Brian Wright said he feels good about the quality of players in this draft, which is good because they have so many picks. He also told the media yesterday during his Zoom interview that it's all about getting the best prospect available. It does not matter the position he plays. They want who they see as the best available when their picks come up. According to mock drafts, one guy the Spurs are interested in is Memphis sitter Jalen Duren, who was named the AAC Freshman of the Year. He's 6'11", 250 pounds. He can rebound, block shots, and feels his defense will help him in the NBA.
I feel like, especially early on, being so young coming in first year, I feel like my niche could be definitely on the defensive side, protecting the rim, rebounding, blocking shots. Being able to switch 1 through 5 for me is one of my biggest things. But even on the offensive end, I feel like one of my most underrated skills is my passing ability. So me being able to pass in the way that the offense is ran in today's game is more so kind of the big initiating offense from the top of the key, getting in a lot of dribble handoffs and such things like that. So I feel like my game does translate really well to the NBA.
Duren is 18 and one of the youngest players in the draft. Check out the Spurs' 4 picks tonight, 3 in the first round and 1 second rounder. You can watch round 1 here on KSAT 12. And according to several mock drafts, they feel Duren will go anywhere between picks 9 to 11 tonight. And of course, the Spurs have the 9th pick. Andrew, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Larry. San Antonio FC is preparing for their toughest test of the season, a road match against Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC in a battle for first place in the Western Conference standings. San Antonio has a history of battling for playoff positioning with Colorado. The two finished 2nd and 3rd in the Mountain Division last year, with SAFC edging the Switchbacks by 3 points. This year, only 2 points separate the two squads, and there's even more on the line.
It's huge. I mean, last year it came down to us in Colorado for the home playoff spot, and this year it kind of seems to be the same way where we're battling for first place. So, you know, it's a good little rivalry that we have. It's good. It's healthy. But yeah, it's huge that we get 3 points. We need 3 points this weekend.
Kickoff in Colorado Springs is set for 8 p.m. We are 2 days away from Fight Night here in the Alamo City, and Jesse Bam Rodriguez is almost ready to defend his World Super Flyweight title against Thailand's Srisaket Sorarungvisai. Bam boasts an undefeated 15-0 record with 10 knockouts, and this afternoon he and his opponent held a press conference at the Hyatt Riverwalk. Bam is currently the youngest boxing world champion, and this fight means a lot.
This fight is special not only because it's here in my hometown, but I'm defending my title for the first time, and to do it in San Antonio, it gets no better than that. The past 2 months have been, really great training, and we're ready for whatever.
Final weigh-in is tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Tobin Center. Fight night is Saturday at the Techport Center and Arena. It's always great to see local talent come back and show out in the Alamo City.
Yeah, and I don't know that they've had a boxing match at the Techport yet.
Usually
so
at the Dome. Going to be a great change of pace.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew.
Now, coming up, many of you got the COVID vaccine, but how about your kids? We know the FDA okayed the shot for kids as young as 6 months. So do you have questions? Of course, and we have the answers. KSAT Q&A up next. Welcome back. It's been a long time coming, and now more than 2 years into the pandemic, the FDA has approved COVID vaccines for kids as young as 6 months.
Yeah, we know you have questions. Dr. Tess Barton with UT Health San Antonio is here to answer them. And as always, we try to separate the fact from the fiction when it comes to COVID and infections and vaccines. And right off the top, Doctor, I want to talk about what you're seeing in your rounds, what you're seeing in your practice. Are we seeing more kids become sick enough that they need to go to the hospital?
Hi, thanks for having me. We definitely are, actually. So we're currently in a surge, even though I know we're all trying to pretend that doesn't happen, and we're pretty tired of it. But yes, so we actually, in the past 2 weeks, have had several kids hospitalized with COVID-related pneumonias, and that's more than what we've had during May, for instance.
Okay, that's something that parents need to know.
Yeah, definitely. Why do you think if we're in the middle of the surge, are we as the media letting this whole thing down by not talking about this?
No, I think it's important for the media to cover all sorts of issues, and I think this is just one of them. And I think a reminder that we are in currently at the beginning of what looks to be a surge. Partly, a lot of the numbers are difficult to track because most people are now doing home testing, and so many people don't get reported. So we may be having a lot more numbers than what we are aware of, what we can count, but we certainly can count hospitalizations, and those are on the rise.
Okay, you're a pediatric infectious disease doctor. We know that just for the past few days now, kids as young as 6 months old are able to get the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines. How have your youngest patients reacted to the vaccine?
Well, mostly, kids will react exactly how they react to other vaccines, which is that they hate shots and needles. But I think that parents, parents are mixed. Some parents are really excited and they can't wait to get, that final little piece of the puzzle in their household vaccinated when everyone else has been vaccinated. And other parents are still standing by, wanting to see what happens, or, just keeping their kids under a little bit more of a layer of protection, keeping them more isolated or away from other activities rather than vaccinating them.
If you get your child vaccinated, are there certain things that parents should watch out for?
So the side effects for the vaccine in young children is very similar to what we've seen in the school-age children and the teenagers, which is primarily, a sore arm, not uncommonly to have a fever for a day or two after, and to feel tired with some increased napping and headaches and things like that. And those side effects will go away. Those are common after any vaccine.
Yeah, I guess the concern is that we're talking about kids as young as 6 months old to 2 years old. They can't speak. They can't really explain to you what's happening if they're dealing with side effects. And that might be why parents are concerned.
That's right. And so, kids who are younger sometimes they won't feed as well. They'll sleep more. They'll be grouchy or irritable. And those things should subside within a day or two. And that's the case for most of these kids.
So we know the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines were approved for kids. They are 2-dose treatments. Is that the same for kids?
So they are, no, for the younger kids, it's a little bit different. For Moderna, which is actually a new opportunity for children, it's a 2-dose series. But for Pfizer, it's actually a 3-dose series for the kids 4 and under.
Obviously, we want to answer as many questions as we can for the people who are watching at home, but obviously, your pediatrician is who you should consult with first before you decide to do this. What are other tips that parents should do to prepare for the shot themselves and maybe prepare their kids for the vaccine?
So I think actually involving the pediatrician is maybe the very most important thing that a parent can do. First of all, because the kids who are in this age category, these 6 month to 4 year kids, are kids who are getting other shots. And so the pediatrician's job is to make a vaccine schedule for each child individually, depending on what vaccines that they need. And so rolling the COVID vaccine into that is important kind of coordination for the pediatrician to do. I also think that that's a really important resource for parents who have questions about safety or, side effects. That's the person that they know and trust to see their kids, and that's who they should be turning to get information about the vaccine.
You just mentioned something that I want to go back to. Babies that are that young, you just mentioned, aren't completely inoculated against things like the MMR virus, hepatitis, and things like that. So I know that you're trying to get parents to go out there and get their kids vaccinated. Could you talk about the risk to kids who, if they're not vaccinated against COVID, and also if they happen to get any of these other viruses that they're not protected against?
Sure. So the risk for COVID is it's a disease that's currently circulating in high amounts, right? Unlike something like the measles, right? So measles vaccine is really important and really effective, but we don't have a lot of measles running around, or polio, but we have a lot of COVID. So the impact of a vaccine on preventing something that's very common is actually pretty important. And so just like you said, these kids are getting other vaccines. And so, we've seen kids some of the kids who come in hospitalized are actually kids who have more than one virus. They come in with the flu and with COVID, or RSV and COVID. And so some of those we have vaccines for, and some of them we don't. But I think as many, if you can prevent your kids from being barraged with viruses all at once, that's generally for the better health of the kid.
Absolutely. And that's what the main reason that you took time out of your busy day today to talk to us is because you want to urge parents to get their kids vaccinated.
I do. I'm a pediatrician, so I'm an infectious disease doctor, but I'm a pediatrician, and pediatricians, our mission is, to save children's lives and to keep them healthy so that they can grow up and be successful in whatever it is that they want to do. And so, vaccines have long been a part of the way that we keep kids healthy. And I think it's exciting that we can now include this into that vaccine schedule for those younger kids.
All right. Dr. Tess Barton with UT Health San Antonio, we appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back. All right, this is great video. Officials in New York, well, unless you own one of these, officials in New York City sending a message to illegal racers on motorcycles. If they get caught, they're probably not getting that bike back. In fact, no one will ride them again. About 100 ATVs and motorcycles meeting their fate today beneath a bulldozer in Brooklyn.
That bulldozer made sure that those bikes aren't going to be able to use it again for street racing, really for nothing else, just for scrap. Now, the mayor's office says that police have confiscated more than 2,000 illegal bikes so far this year, and obviously they're destroyed so they don't end up back on the streets. It's over.
It's kind of cool video, though.
Yeah, I wish we could hear the sound, though.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Fun.
The crunch.
Yeah. Live look over 410 right now. Not a lot of traffic there, which is nice. The day looks nice, although it's 99 degrees, Adam.
And it's Thermometer Thursday.
Yeah.
That's right, it is. We're going to have more fun spinning today, Steve.
Spinning?
Yes, not what?
Twirling?
No. That has nothing to do with thermometer creation, okay?
It looks like twirling to me.
I'm going to prove otherwise. 101. Yep, we did it again today. 100 degrees. Well, actually 101. Another triple-digit day. The record being 102, so 1 degree shy of the record. Hey, Cotulla made it to 104. Del Rio 102. Pleasanton 103. Not a record, though, elsewhere. As we go through the evening, gradually falling off. Mid-90s at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 89 degrees, and by midnight, we're at 85. Our high temperature should be closer to that midnight temperature in just a few days. If you don't like the triple digits, little patience will pay off. We're going to tell you when that cooler air arrives and what it means for rain chances coming up.
Welcome back. 6:43 right now. Yeah. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the, debate that Adam and I have.
Okay.
Is he spinning the sock or is he twirling the sock?
Yes.
I want, part of me is doing it just to irritate him. Yes.
Of course.
But I want you to weigh in on whether.
Stephanie is going to have the final say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You'll get the slow-mo view, too. That may sway you a little
I'll tell you.
I think it will impact your judgment.
Very well.
Very
good use of slow-mo, I will say.
Thank you. We just need a little sound effect. We'll get to it. Triple digits through the weekend. Temperature drop next week. And with the drop in temperatures comes an increase in our rain chances. Not everybody's going to get it, but at least chances are up. And I do foresee some downpours as we get into parts of next week. Let's time that out in a second. First of all, 102 is what we're expecting tomorrow, 101 Saturday and Sunday. By the way, if we hit 102 tomorrow, that would actually tie the record high for the day. Very similar through the weekend with nothing but sunshine. And look at that. Actually near and a little below average for part of next week. Monday, we dropped to 94. Tuesday, I tweaked it downward a little bit more, down to 86. For the afternoon high temperature on Tuesday. With that, no coincidence, higher rain chances, but it's not going to be a drought-busting rain. Maybe a drought denter for a few locations, but it really is going to take a lot of moisture to pull us out of this exceptional and extreme drought that we have. This is the newest drought monitor. Hill country all the way down through western and southern Bexar County, stretching down to the Gulf Coast. The exceptional drought, that's the worst category that you can be in. Some parts of Texas, not so bad, especially just north of Dallas and in parts of East Texas as well. Not in as bad of a situation. Down in the valley, actually no drought down there. but 81% of the state is considered in drought. Here's the satellite and radar. A few showers eked their way into East Texas, but for the most part, the upper level high, Big Blue H pressing down on us, the heat high, it's winning out. And around the edges of it, that's where you get some of the moisture and the lift. And so through the Rocky Mountains, they're seeing some activity up in parts of the plains, moving through Kansas, a little bit of severe weather action, and then far to the east of us as well. This is going to change, though. That upper high breaks down, and a weak cold front's going to sag into town and be just enough to cause some changes and stir things up a little bit. So we're going to fast forward to Monday. Notice the timestamp here, Monday. Nothing but sunshine Friday through the weekend. Monday, we'll have an increase in the cloud cover. As that boundary drops in, it's likely to start developing some non-severe storms and areas of rain, light to moderate rain, just dotting the landscape, widely separated in nature, Monday afternoon and Monday evening. We get into Tuesday, even more moisture is in the air. I mean, from the ground all the way up, we've got thicker moisture content. It's looking more promising. And we could get some heavy downpours, some of the tropical downpours on Tuesday with those big fat raindrops. Again, not everybody's going to get it, but cross your fingers for your neighborhood. Tuesday, at least, I think we'll have more activity out there. We have it at a 30% chance Monday. By Tuesday, 40%. However, we may be raising that up a little bit on Tuesday. I could see that happening as we get closer in time. Right now, 99 officially, but a dew point of 57, so it's not all that bad. The humidity not playing a role in how it feels out there. At or above 100 for a good chunk of our area. Exception is the hill country. Kerrville 97, Comfort 98, Stinson right now at 101, and Converse 100. We start the day tomorrow at 76, and by the noon hour, already into the lower 90s. For the high temperature then, about 102 at 4 or 5 p.m. with wall-to-wall sunshine throughout the day from sunrise to sunset. I do think we'll be above 100, especially 104, 105 along the Rio Grande and farther south down I-35. So Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, from about 104 to 106 for high temperatures. There we go into next week. Temperatures drop, rain chances are up. Check back in because we will be changing and fine-tuning this forecast in the days ahead. All right, Stephanie, here we go. I've been taking you through the process of the latest thermometer I'm making, and we did get into a little bit of the sock spinning last time, and I know it's one of the things people always take away from making my thermometer. So that's the alcohol in the top tube connected to the actual thermometer. Then I use centripetal force to rapidly spin this sock, and it takes some effort and some strength.
Yeah, look at your face.
Wait for it. I figured we'd do a little slow-mo action.
You also look pretty satisfied.
It's very satisfying.
I think we need the producer Bill was right. We need like the sound effects from the $6 Million Man or something like that, you know.
And that would be perfect, actually.
I think it's just appropriate that you have one of your thermometer tubes in a tube sock.
It's actually a very specific tube, so you can't use like soccer socks and other socks because they're too wide and you get too much air resistance. So you have to have very flexible, knee-high, non-heeled athletic socks.
Yeah, so as you're twirling the sock, you want to make sure.
I think it's sock spinning, just because I like the alliteration.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, not just because the alliteration.
She likes the alliteration.
Oh, fine. It's a win. Alexandria Bustos of San Antonio, the winner of this week's homemade thermometer.
Yeah, I just like
spun by hand.
When you say twirling, it irritates him.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I go for that. In case you missed it, coming up next.
Buttons. Press.
Welcome back, and if you need a little refresher, here's today's In Case You Missed It.
Weeks after the Uvalde massacre, Seguin ISD focusing on school safety. The district announcing it is creating a school safety task force. According to the district, more than 150 people expressed interest in participating. About 40 showed up to today's meeting, the first of two information meetings about current safety procedures and the goals of the task force. We spoke to one parent who says she's ready to help.
We have to do what we need to do to protect our children.
My number one priority right now as a superintendent is to ensure that our teachers and students are safe. And that is what keeps me up at night.
A 31-year-old man facing a murder charge after San Antonio police say he beat a man to death last month. This is the suspect, Jeremy Bahee. He's accused of beating 36-year-old Michael Adon for disciplining his underage son. But according to arrest records, Adon was trying to stop that child from assaulting his own mother. At some point, Bahi showed up and attacked Adon, hitting him till he lost consciousness. He ended up dying in the hospital.
San Antonio police looking for a driver who hit a woman who was riding her bike last night. This was around midnight near East Houston Loop 410. The woman suffered a broken ankle. She's expected to be okay. Investigators believe the driver did stop for a moment, but then quickly took off without helping.
Well, today, the FDA announced the e-cigarette company Juul must stop selling and distributing their products in the U.S. If the company fails to do so, the FDA says it will enforce the order. It comes 3 years after Juul's flavored vaping pens were banned by the FDA in 2019. All right, before we go, I want to show you the situation at 410 in Marbach. We've been watching this since 5 o'clock, a water main break out here. You can see they're still diverting cars out of the way because of this water main break. So SAWS confirmed is what's happening there. You can see some of the water's actually gone to the runoff there between the main lanes of 410 and Marbach itself.
Looks like 3 lanes turned into 1 lane. So, yeah, just try to think of an alternate route if that's something that you're thinking of, a place where you're thinking of traveling to in a bit.
Hey, early tomorrow morning, 5 planets line up: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Look to the east-southeast about an hour before sunrise.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tonight on the Night Beat.
After the draft, which starts now.